your teaching and learning needs. A simple tool that serves as a container for one or more ThingLinks is Tack. Tonight we'll see some examples of ways to use Tack to easily publish ThingLink interactive images. We'll take a look at the text editing feature in Tack and share ways to add labels to a ThingLink as we explore interactive images. But before we get started, let's first talk about the dashboard. All attendees are in listen-only mode. As you're seeing different examples, if a question should come up, go ahead and post it under the Questions tab in the GoToWebinar dashboard. If you have a general chat item that you'd like to send out to all attendees, go ahead and place that into the chat section. We also are doing a back channel using TitanPad. Now, TitanPad, the link has been sent out through the chat. It's also on your screen. It's the best access TitanPad either in Internet Explorer or in Safari. There are a couple hiccups with using Chrome. Tonight's host is Susan Oxnavad. She's ThingLink's Education Community Manager. And also tonight's presenters. We have Bobby Lewis. He is a father of 3. He's a ThingLink expert educator, a Tack EDU advocate, a smart exemplary educator. He's Edmodo certified trainer, a Symbaloo PD Pro, Den Star, and also an Eagle Scout. We also have Patricia Merlino, who's an adjunct professor for Arcadia University and also teaches middle school computer science at a private school. Joining us as well is Nancy Minicozzi. She works in Northwest Los Angeles County at the LVUSD School District as a media specialist, helping teachers integrate technology into their classrooms. She is passionate about working with other educators to innovate their practices. Nancy believes in collaborative professional development and has worked with Playdate Los Angeles and a number of ed camps. She blogs at coffeenancy.com. She's also been using ThingLink since February 2013. And finally tonight, we have Andrea Trivisonno, is the Director of Partnerships at Tack.com and has worked with web-based solutions for over 10 years. She is passionate about helping youth connect, collaborate, and create, and loves working with Tack users to help improve the product. And now I'm going to turn it over to tonight's host, Susan.
Okay, well, hello everybody. I'm just waiting for the screen share, but my name is Susan Oxnavad, and I'm the ThingLink Education Community Manager, and I'm here tonight because I got really excited about sharing app smashing, and I wanted to do something fun to build some community members, to grow our network, and to just celebrate all of the great things that are happening, because ThingLink is just an absolutely wonderful tool for app smashing, because you can put all of the apps on there and then you can create links to samples and all kinds of resources. So tonight we're celebrating Tack, and as Dan mentioned, Tack is a tool that can serve as a really nice container for a ThingLink. When you create a ThingLink interactive image and just copy the link from ThingLink into Tack, it shows up and it's live, and all of the icons are live, so you can explore it. You can also put headings on it, and you can also tack multiple things to it. So there's a lot of things you can do with Tack. And Dan, I don't see the screen share.
I was setting that up and gave it to Bobby. So he is ready to go.
Oh, okay. Well, then I do have a slideshow, but we'll just share that later. So I'm going to introduce our first guest. So we rounded up a bunch of community members that had created great tacks, and we noticed that Bobby had some great ones. So we asked him to share. Bobby is a ThingLink expert educator, so he is sharing ThingLink all over the place, and he's doing a really great job. And so here is his first image, which is slopes.
Well, I'm happy to be here. I'm really excited about Tack and ThingLink working together, because those two of my favorite tech tools out there. One of the things I teach in 8th grade when I push in my ESOP classes is we talk about slope. And one of the activities that I created was this ThingLink for slope. And a better way to add that together would be to put it onto, looking for it, all of a sudden I lost it. Be to put it onto a Tack, and one of the great ways of doing that is also I've done it for Edmodo. I have it on here for when we were using Edmodo, we would embed a Tack at the bottom, embed a ThingLink at the bottom of the Tack. And it's very simple to do that. If you'll go down to the media button here, once you go to the media button, then you can actually paste in your link from your share on ThingLink, and you can paste in that, it seems to be very laggy, paste in the link here from ThingLink into your media button on your Tack, and it will embed it for you. So then for my students, they can then get the information from a Tack, but also have the interactive ability from their ThingLink. Another Tack that I've shared with has been a Symbaloo, and embedded a ThingLink into the Tack to kind of explain to people how to use ThingLink to make it interactive, and to also share some of the features of a Symbaloo. Those are some great features. And that's pretty much what I was going to share. If anyone has any questions.
I'm not seeing any questions yet, but I love how simple it is to be able to take different tools like Symbaloo and ThingLink and embed them in. That's a great feature to have.
Yeah, and then think about your students creating something the same way, and that's the big advantage to it, is having that kind of like a makerspace, for students.
Very nice.
I think there are so many possibilities here. You've just touched on a couple of your favorite tools, but you could use the Add Media button to share just about any kind of media.
Right.
Great.
And I know some people will be talking about it later, but as far as there's just endless amounts of tech tools that can be used on both of the ThingLink and Tack.
Great. Well, thank you, Bobby, so much for sharing that. And if anybody has any questions a little later, you can go ahead and put them in the question box. Also, I shared with you a bit.ly for the slideshow here, and so you can get to Bobby's interactive image just by clicking on the slideshow. There's just a few slides, so you'll be able to use that for review. So thank you so much, Bobby. So we're going to move on to our next presenter then, and our next presenter is, Dan introduced her very nicely, but this is Patricia Merlino, and Patricia was a ThingLink, took our ThingLink Teacher Challenge this summer, and that's where we got to know some of her work, and she did some amazing things with ThingLink, and now she's tacked to ThingLink. So Patricia, welcome, and we're really excited to hear about your image. Let us know when you have the screen.
I'm in presentation mode on my Mac right now, so.
Okay, you should see it.
Okay, the exit presentation mode. And
while we're waiting for Patricia, we've had a couple people post in that they've never seen Symbaloo before. So that's great that they were able to see a new tool tonight.
Right, great, wonderful. There, we see your screen, Patricia.
Okay, great. I will now go into presentation mode. A nice new feature that came with Yosemite on Mac. So I don't have the southern drawl as Bobby, so I have a New Jersey accent. My ThingLink Interactive is based on a social studies lesson. I developed a prototype for my graduate school students to include a wiki and collaborative activity. But you can use Tack very well as a standalone activity, as you can see with this ThingLink. This is an American Revolution lesson where students will be reading 2 primary document accounts, and this is introducing the lesson and building some background knowledge. The images from the National Archives, and I wanted to, as an example for my prototype, I wanted to include multiple learning styles that are embedded in the ThingLink for our students who have learned in different ways. So I begin with some reading for students for some background knowledge. And for students to understand what they need to do for the lesson as they proceed into reading the primary documents, there's a really nice student-friendly video to think and read like a historian. I then move on with including some audio and podcasts, the first of which I recorded through SoundCloud. I don't really want to play it now, but it introduces the activity that they will find on PBWorks. And the second is it's a podcast that I created in GarageBand that includes some background music. I'll just play it a little bit. So that's the SoundCloud. It's this one. Okay, so my second podcast I actually created using GarageBand that includes some background music and some authentic shots that usually make students jump when they hear it, but they do enjoy some of the authenticity from that podcast. I also included some more reading for students to understand who the Minutemen were. I included a YouTube video that introduces the students to different theories about what happened so that when they do look at the primary documents, they have some background knowledge. And just a text about, what do you think happened, as well as just an image. So there's an array of modalities for students to address all the different learning styles. What I liked about Tack was it is so easy to use. I loved that you could choose the different custom themes. And here I chose the blue background because I really wanted to keep most of my space in white, and I kind of picked up some of the blue, just little graphic design to kind of pull out of the photo. So I really liked the presentation. I didn't include anything underneath because I integrated the ThingLink on PBWorks. So let's go to this. Okay, and here is the actual lesson, and you can see how this is my splash page for students with their essential question. And you can see how nicely ThingLink has been embedded with PBWorks. And I think that is all that I have to show you here. So if there are any, let me go back here to, back to my Tack.
Patricia, sorry to jump in. We believe that your screen is frozen. We're still just seeing the very top of your Tack.
Right.
Okay, you're not seeing, I'm moving it, so.
Yes, we're not seeing that.
Okay, well, that's okay. It's just a really, really nice example of a way to provide so many differentiated resources in that one ThingLink. And I really love the way the use of, you talked about color and space, and the way the blue outlines it all is very user-friendly, very reader-friendly, and just the ability to add that little introduction makes your image, really more usable for students and also for other teachers who want to use it. I think you used Tack in a really great way.
Thank you, Susan.
You're welcome. And are there any questions for Patricia?
No, I'm not seeing any questions in right now.
Okay, so maybe we should just go ahead since her screen is frozen anyway, and we'll just go ahead and move on to our next exciting presenter, who is Nancy Minikotsi. And Nancy has a really great animal adaptation project and just a totally different way to use ThingLink and Tack together. So Nancy, welcome, and please let us know when you have the screen share button up.
Okay, I think you should be seeing my screen now.
Yes.
Okay,
Great.
perfect. Thank you, and I'm glad you think I'll be an exciting presenter. I hope to be. So this was actually my very first Tack that I made. It was so easy to use. I really loved it. This was an example of an animal adaptation project that my third grade students will be doing in December or January. They are doing research, and then they are going to be presenting it in a ThingLink. So what I did is I wanted to put together the directions for the kids and the example that I made for them so that they can have everything in one place. I really like this because before I had to show them the ThingLink and then give them written directions, and this way everything is all together. So if I scroll down, can everybody see that? Is it?
Yes, we can.
Okay, perfect. So this was the ThingLink that I made as the example, and I chose an elephant, as I think you can recognize. So I've included the copyright information, even though this was a public domain picture, because I feel that students really need to have that reinforced over and over again about citing images. I just made this very simple. The teachers are asking them to put in a little bit more information, but I just gave an example here about the elephant's ears, and I'm going to be talking to the students about where they put the tags on the ThingLink. So for example, I'm talking about the ear, I'm going to put it on the elephant's ear. And I just put in a little bit more typing. Everybody needs to include a picture of where their animal lives. And I've got a video here as well for the students to use. But what I really liked about the Tack is that I can put right underneath the directions for the students. So they will have had their animal facts already done. They've done research both online and in books. I'm going to give them, I think I'm going to edit this and actually put a link for where they can get the images from. But I have the directions for them. Find the image, get the link to the Google map, get the video, and then create your ThingLink. And once they're done, I have here a link to a Google form where they can submit the URL of their completed ThingLink. So if they click it, it'll just go here and they can enter their school email. We have Google Apps, so that makes logging into ThingLink really easy, and then they'll already be logged in, so they'll have their email handy, last name, animal, and the link to their project. So this makes it easy for me to share the information with the teachers, and they can easily go on and look at the projects. What I also really liked is that I was able to create the ThingLink so that it was attractive, because that's important to me, and I picked a green here that kind of went with the trees, and it's simple, it's not overwhelming for third graders, so I think that it'll be easy for them to follow, and it'll be easier than the way we've done similar projects in the past, because everything will be all together. So that is basically what I did, and I think you could use this for any kind of project where kids were going to be creating a ThingLink. I think for younger kids it's helpful to have everything all in one place.
Right, everything's right there, and the steps are lined out so nicely, and it's not intimidating because they can kind of cross it off as they go, and also they won't get lost because they don't have to click out anywhere. So this is a
Exactly.
beautiful integration, Nancy. You are a very exciting presenter.
Oh, thank you. Oh, and I see there's a question that says, do I have them create accounts on Tack? No, the students will actually, I think for older kids I would, but third graders, if I can get them to create a good ThingLink, I'm happy. So they have the accounts on ThingLink. I have the Tack to introduce the content, or the example rather, and have the directions, but the students in third grade will just be creating the ThingLink. We might combine them afterwards in a Tack. I think that would be a good idea, but I think that would be a project that we would do later.
Really what I'm noticing here is you've got a lot of steps in place to make this easy for the teacher to assemble it, because at the bottom where you have them click on the Google form, they'll just submit a link, and on the back end you can copy and paste the link into the Tack in no time at all. And I would imagine you could create you could put lots of student examples right into the Tack as well, just very quickly. So
right, I could put it together. I might divide it up by continent or by type of animal so that I didn't end up with a Tack that was too long, because I wouldn't want somebody to feel, if theirs was number 20 on there.
Sure.
We have some big classes. But yes, that would be great. I hadn't even thought of that.
Right.
So thank you.
And the other thing I noticed is the comments, and I'm going to go share those. I'm the next presenter, so I'll share those as well. But so you can enable the comments, and I noticed that they've been enabled. So you can start a really nice discussion. I don't know if yours are enabled. I can't see. Yes. So you can have that really nice discussion right there on the page as well. And I would think students could ask questions, and just to get the focus on the content, because the questions are published right there. So it would just kind of keep everybody on track. Okay.
A lot of people are saying they have wonderful ideas now coming to them after seeing this example. A couple of them really love the idea of using a Google form for the students to submit their link.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. And I should mention that also the Google form, when you're on ThingLink, if you create a link to a Google form, it'll pop up and embed right on the page, and students can actually fill out that Google form without having to leave the page as well. So that's just another way. And that's sort of a new integration, and I've been putting Google Forms in all of my student projects so that when it gets turned in, I get that very easy copy and paste of the link. So, right. Great. Well, should we move into my presentations? Mine's completely and totally different, because I knew that we had so many presenters here that were going to give fabulous examples in the classroom. I thought I'd do something different. So I'm going to go ahead and show my screen, and I'm going to share with you something that I use for professional development, and I'm going to share ThingLink for video as well. So can everyone see my screen?
Yes, it came up.
Okay, so this is one of the images that I use for professional development, and I tacked it, and I love the way it looks in Tack. I love the blue, and I could choose any color I wanted, and of course the images are interactive. So this is on the SAMR model, and it's something that I use a lot when I introduce technology to teachers, just to try to help them understand where they are and the types of tasks that they should take on as they try to use technology, in better ways or in more engaging ways. So the SAMR model, in a nutshell, is just teachers have 4 levels of tech integration that they go through, 4 stages, and basically they go from substitution to augmentation to modification into redefinition. So I use this example and I help teachers understand it, and then this particular one is to show teachers that when you're just starting to use technology and you're working your way up the ladder in creating and designing better things, there are really great opportunities along the way that you want to take to help yourself and also to then help your students build these 21st century skills. And once they have the 21st century skills, they'll be more prepared to be successful at the next level. So I use this interactive image all the time, and I give examples of 3 ways: research, writing, and digital citizenship. So if you're just starting out as a teacher, you can help build research skills, and by sharing flexible search engines with them, or you can improve writing, start writing more than they would with handwriting. So I go all through this and I give examples. Here's an image of an example in a project, and I love the way that embeds right in ThingLink. So this is a model that I use, but I also use a video, and it's called SAMR in 120 seconds, because this could take a long time to explain. So if I'm just trying to share the SAMR model with teachers, I might just use my video. So I'm going to go show you now on ThingLink for video what I've done, and that's not the right one. So let me go. Oh, here it is. Okay. Let's see. Here it is. Okay, so I've gone to YouTube and I found this video. I've used it for a long time now. It's Sammer in 120 seconds. It sort of introduces the topic to the teachers. And if I play it, it's 120 seconds. I know that when I push the play button, you're not going to actually hear my audio anymore. Is that correct, Dan? Okay. Well, I'm just going to go ahead then and pause the video and
Yes,
just share a little bit about the video. So in 120 seconds, we watch this video, but as an instructor, I want to add more because I have so many resources. And so I think that I can enhance this and personalize it for my training. So I can add a tag to a ThingLink for video, just like I add a tag to a regular ThingLink image, and they show up and they look like this. So they pop up on the screen, and it can just pop up as the video continues playing to maybe provide an essential question or just get them thinking, or we can click on it and we can get to more resources. So here you can see I just put my image of Sammer because as I'm presenting, I just want people to stop and I want them to discuss this. I think that I love Sammer in 120 seconds, but they might want to go back for more information. So I'm going to have to go back to my video now and show you what I've done at the end with ThingLink and Tack. So you can go all the way through the video and you just come to each of these stopping points and you get more resources. Maybe they're examples. But at the end here of this video, I wanted to share the tacked image that I just shared with you. I wanted to say, after they understand Sammer, look what they can do and look how they can build their 21st century skills. So you can see my tag pops up right here. And when I click on it, you're going to come to my tacked image. I love this. Ooh, there it is. So you can see the entire image. Ooh, you could see the entire image. It might have something to do with being on the web because this whole image showed up live just a minute ago. So let me go back and try to load it again. Well, this whole image, I guarantee you when you're not presenting on a GoToWebinar, the whole image will absolutely show up so that you can see the text version, and it pops up and all the links are right live on the page. So you can provide your audience with this video. You can stop and then they know that they can come back and explore it and learn, and they have no problem finding the resource again. So that's just an interesting and unique way that you can use ThingLink for video in Tack, which I thought nobody would share, so I decided to share it as well. And ThingLink, yes?
A couple questions are coming in about ThingLink for video. It looks awesome. How can teachers get it?
It is awesome. So ThingLink for Video is part of the ThingLink EDU Premium package. And so if you have a free account, you won't have access to this. But if you have a premium account, then you'll find another button on your screen, and the button allows you to do the video. So what you do with the video is you just take a link from YouTube or Brightcove and you pop it in to ThingLink for Video and it loads. And then that's when you stop and you add the tags that just aren't showing up. So you add these tags. So you just click edit, you click, boom, you add a tag. And there's so many things you can do. You can embed a ThingLink, but I really like the way the Tack embedded, because when the Tack embedded, it was bigger, and there's something about the border that just made it really pop up and look great. So then you have all the resources right there. Now you could turn around in the Tack and you could add the media and you could actually put that video at the bottom. But one thing that I'm disappointed that I couldn't show you is that in the ThingLink for Video, when this pops up, the comment stream also pops up. So they could make comments right on the ThingLink for Video as well. So that's available with the ThingLink EDU Premium. I'm going to switch back out to the slideshare that I made here for this presentation. And again, you'll be able to see this. You'll be able to access this. I put the link in the Titan Pad and I'll also send it to you. But I'll just go ahead and show you then, if you're interested in the ThingLink for Video, this is slide number 7 there. And you can have a 20% off discount by entering this code, Susan TLEDU, into the box. So just wanted to share that with you. It's normally $35 a year, but it's $28 a year if you enter that code in. And it's really got a lot of great resources, such as some of the custom icons that you've been seeing on some of the presentations. I generally like to use those. And they just lots and lots of features. So if anybody's interested in ThingLink for video, at the end of the webinar, I'd be happy to answer some more questions and give you a walkthrough. But I think right now I'm going to introduce Andrea. And Andrea, you're going to have to tell me again how to say your name. I practiced, but I'm not sure I can say it correctly again. So here is Andrea, and Andrea is from Tack, and it's Trivisonno.
Trivisonno, very close.
Trivisonno, very good. Andrea, we're really happy you're here. Andrea is from Tack, and she's going to tell us just a little more about Tack.
Yeah, thank you so much, Susan. I'm very excited to be here, and thank you everyone for attending. I'm going to show my screen now, so you should be able to see some Tacks up on my screen. Can everyone see that?
Yep.
All right, great. So yes, thank you so much for everyone attending. These examples have been really great. I manage the partnerships and do a lot of the marketing stuff at Tack, so I work with users almost every day. And we're always interested to learn what your questions are, what feedback is, and work to make our system better. I know the earlier presenters were mentioning how easy Tack is, and that's music to our ears. Really, we built Tack to be the simplest platform we could to enable anyone to be a content creator. And, you know, along with systems like ThingLink, simplicity, you know, has to be at the core when we have busy lives and a lot going on, and social media and everything else. So very excited that you like the tool and that you've been using it, and these examples have been great. So I'm going to talk a little bit about some content that we've created on the Tack side to make life easier in your world as a teacher or educator, and how that relates to ThingLink specifically. So before even the ThingLink lessons, the precursor to that was you know, this school year we wanted to build content around using Tack in the classroom, and we wanted to do that for multiple subjects. So what we built is something called Tack Lessons, and you'll see it up on the screen here. You can access it by going to the link tack.com/@, which is the username obviously, Tack Lessons. So you can access these and see a variety of different lessons in multiple subjects. And this is really the starting point if you're looking to get ideas or examples of how to use Tack in your specific subject. Obviously, just like ThingLink, we are a platform that can be used in a variety of different ways. So you might want to spend some time here exploring some of these lessons. In addition to the overall lessons, we've created specific lessons for ThingLink. We're very excited to partner with them and to work closely specifically with education to offer the app smashing types of tools that, again, make life easier in the classroom, not only for you as the teacher and educator, but for the student themselves. So I'm going to flip to my second tab here, which is a few lessons specific to ThingLink. So I wanted to go over a few examples that we created and show you how you can use Tack as a platform to work with them. So like I said, obviously you can use this in a variety of different subjects, and we have it labeled very clearly. So when you hit this page or any Tack lessons, you will know exactly which subject you're looking at. So science, English, technology, social studies, art are just a few of them. So if you click into the ThingLink storytelling lesson for ELA, for example, we have the grade listed and the description of what this is. So the idea behind this is to create content or a subject matter that you can share with students and customize yourself as the teacher and ask them to use both apps together. So storytelling obviously is what we're doing when we're creating ThingLinks and Tacks for the most part. So if you look at the description here, this specific lesson is asking students to upload a picture into ThingLink that talks about a short story, and then adding those annotations and customizing it based on what you want them to do. So we give you examples, photo ideas. You know, this one is specific to history, where it's the Gettysburg battle, but obviously any image could work or any subject matter could work. So if you're on this Tack and you think this looks like a good Tack that you would want to customize, if you click the Customize button, you'll see what pops up here. What this does, it opens up an editable version of Tack. And you don't have to necessarily have an account to create a Tack. Anonymous Tacks will live for 7 days. But you'll want to do that, obviously, if you're sharing this with students and you want this to live beyond 7 days. So in edit mode, you can actually edit anything on the page. So we start you off with the description that you can share with students, and then you can ask them specific things, add specific photos that you want them to add. You can add examples. We see a lot of teachers create lessons on Tack, and then they'll create an actual example of what they want the student to create. So that's a great example. And everyone already went through how to do it, but you would just click media here, and you would just paste in the URL to the ThingLink if you had it ready to go as an example. One thing that I also wanted to mention on the Tack itself, the Google form is great for copying and pasting and having students collect and aggregate those URLs when they're done with a finished Tack with a ThingLink in it. They can also paste right in the comment stream below. So Susan, you mentioned this, and having the discussions and opening up comments for students to interact in the classroom. We've seen a lot of great dialogues and interactive conversations happen within the stream. Not only can you add ThingLink images and post them in the stream, but you can also add additional text, you can add other media, you can add photos and other video as well. So this is also a different way where you could ask the student to paste their ThingLink or Tack itself right into the comment stream, and then you would have them aggregated all in one place. Going back to a few other examples just to walk you through. So obviously with Tack, you know, it lends itself very nicely to writing and sharing and art. But something you might not have thought of is using it for something like science. So let me open this one. So this is an example of a science lesson using ThingLink, asking students to paste a picture of the brain and annotate it with what the types of the brains there are. And this actually isn't a ThingLink image, but you get the point. This is just an example of the brain and what they might upload to ThingLink prior to Tack. But this is an example where it doesn't have to be just the written word or design or image. It can be very focused on math or science, for example, and we've seen some really great examples from teachers using math. So using this lesson, you could copy and paste this URL and send that straight to students, and then they would have their assignment and subject, and then you can customize it however you want. The last thing I'll mention is the use of tags. So we have a tagging system in place at Tack that's very similar to using hashtags on Twitter. So if you're asking someone, a class, to tack a ThingLink and you have a specific subject or project name, you'd want to add that so that they know exactly what that tag is. So if the student has that tag, they can add that right into the Tack itself, or they can add it in the editor. And what that will do is it will aggregate a board of all of those tags for you. So you don't have to go fishing around. You don't even really have to use a Google Doc. You can have that pre-populated board. And this is actually an example. If you look at the highlighted URL at the top here, tack.com/board/ThingLink. This board was created because all of these tags have that tag in it. So that's something that some teachers aren't aware of, and it also will make life easier, especially if you have multiple classes or multiple subjects you teach. It's just an easy way to aggregate and collect work from students and also organize your own work.
Great. Wow, Andrea, there are a lot of features of Tack for us to explore. I wasn't aware of some of those, and I really appreciate the great overview of how teachers can use this easy tool to tack a ThingLink or to tack something else. So thank you.
You're welcome.
I think Andrea just answered one of the questions that came in. One of our attendees is very familiar with Padlet, and she was wondering what the differences are between Tack and Padlet. And I think being able to have the board across the top and being able to tag your different tacks and search for them that way is a huge difference.
Yeah, I think the tagging is definitely... Go ahead.
Another question that came in about Tack, is there a way to publish the link privately so that only certain people can access?
Yes, so I will actually show you an example. So let's say you have a ThingLink subject Tack you're creating, and you're editing this for students however you want. This is your editor, so once you're in edit mode, you're creating this Tack and you have all of these great options on the right, so you can make it look different, change the color, change the fonts, all that fun stuff, add a fun background. Under Tack options, which is the fourth tab in, you have a few different options here. So public and private is at the very top. Obviously, we value privacy. And if you need to make it private, you can. You can also go one step further and password protect it. So that option is there as well. And this is actually where the tagging would exist. So if I created a lesson and I added ThingLink to it, you can see there's other ThingLink tagged tacks out there. So you can add other tags. You can organize this however you want from a higher level. And there's some other fun features back here. Customizing URL is, I think that's one feature that a lot of teachers overlook, and I think it would make life easier to track and to send out and just be able to remember things. So, you know, customizing it is as easy as writing that in, and then you get that link once you publish your Tack. When you do make it private, if you send that URL out, anyone with the URL can access it. So if you wanted to share it with a specific group of students or a specific class or even other educators, they'll be able to view it if you send it out or share it with them. They'll also be able to comment on the stream, but everything will be private. Any Tack creation that you do or any collaboration that happens on the stream will be private if the Tack is marked as private.
Excellent. One question. Someone asked, is it possible to embed a Padlet into Tack?
You know, I would have to check. We actually work with Embedly. I don't know how many people are familiar with Embedly, but this, if you go to their website, they actually have a list of everything that embeds nicely. We actually have it in here. That's probably an easier way to do it. So here are the examples when you click the media button and you're trying to add something and embed it. ThingLink obviously is on the list. And we also work with Tack, SlideShare, some of the bigger platforms you probably do use. If you click that 250 plus supported devices, you can check this list. So I don't think Padlet is on the list. You can take a Padlet link, and if you add that to Tack, it will create a nicely formatted link for you. It's not just even hyperlink like this one is, this one right here, but it will actually make it a nice embedded link. The Padlet itself looks like it will not be embedded though, if it's not on the Embedly list. So you can always check this if you have questions.
Another question came up was, where do you place the hashtag to create the class board?
There's two different ways to organize using tags. So you can actually add it right into the Tack content itself. So if I click down here, let's say I wanted to add another text box, and I'm typing, this is my lesson, I could add it right here. So let's say my teacher asked me to include Miss Smith science. I could add it right into the content of the Tack. And some teachers will ask, I see a lot of students will add it at the bottom there, so they have the whole Tack populated with content at the top, and then they'll just add that little text piece at the bottom so it's visible. Or if you notice on the right here in the editor, under Tack options, under Tack boards, this is where the boards are created. So you could also add it here. So I would add ThingLink as an example tag, and I could add other ones. I could add Miss Smith, science, whatever I wanted to add. So you have two different options. You can use both, or you can use one or the other. And what that will do is it will generate that Tack on that board. So I'll go back as an example. So now, if you notice in the left corner, this is the Tack I just created. So it just populated itself on my ThingLink board because I added ThingLink as a tag. The image is taking, well, actually, I don't know if there's an image, but if you click into it, obviously, you see this is what I created. And you'll see the tagged piece at the bottom. And then because it's tag ThingLink, under the Tack options, it also appears here.
Great. That appears like that's answered all the questions we've had.
Great. Well, thank you so much, Andrea. And I'd like to take a moment to thank all of our presenters who are participating in the ThingLink App Smash. And I wanted to invite everybody to some of our upcoming events while at the same time demonstrating some of the ThingLink premium features. I thought I could kill two birds with one stone. So here are some App Smash events. Let me show my screen first. All right, do you see that?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so here are some App Smash events that we have going on in November. So this is just a ThingLink, and for those of you who are very new to ThingLink, you should know that you're just going to start out by creating an image. This is the image that I created. You can create it in a variety of programs, PowerPoint even. And so I created this image, and then I uploaded it to ThingLink and added the rich media tags that you see here that come out. So these are icons, and these are actually custom icons, but the original, if you just have a free account, you'd have just a different set of icons. I use some of the custom icons that are available for the premium feature. I love the way they work. And I also used a few icons that I created myself, because if you have a ThingLink premium account, you can upload your own icons. So the pencil is one I created, and the book is one that our artist created. But there's a lot of great features here. So here we have this webinar tonight, so that's over, and some of you might have even seen this interactive image already. And then there's another webinar that's going to be happening tomorrow night, and that's Smashing ThingLink in Edmodo. And we're really excited to have Jody Johnston with us, and I know she's in the audience, so let's give a shout out to Jody. And we'll be sharing ways that you can smash ThingLink in Edmodo. Now, if you look at this particular ThingLink icon, you can see that some of the premium features are in use, because I can create bold heading, or I can create headings, I can create bold, I can change the text. I have custom text features, so that's one of them. And then there's another custom icon here, quite a few. And some of these are just traditional icons. One of the things that we talked about with ThingLink, and we've talked about consistently throughout this night, is the Google form. So here I'm going to show you an example of how the Google form will work in a ThingLink. This is my custom icon of a Google form, and when I click on it, the actual Google form shows up. So for students turning in projects, it's just right there on the page as well. So it's just another great way to use a Google form, but let me show you, it's live. So I can just submit it right here without doing anything else. I think that's a wonderful new feature that I love to share with teachers. So that's a custom feature. Another custom feature, well, we talked about ThingLink for video, but down here you can, normally you'll have the ThingLink branding, but you can replace it and you can take it away completely. There's a blank icon you can use, or you can customize it. And so I put my avatar here. I'm big on avatars, and I like to have students create avatars and also identify their images, tag their images with their own little stamp or their avatar. It also teaches them about internet safety, so that's another feature. And as far as other events we have going on, besides for the Edmodo webinar tomorrow, we have the ThingLink Teacher App Smash Challenge. So the ThingLink Teacher App Smash Challenge is something that I hope you'll consider. Audience participants will consider at least keeping track of, if not submitting an image to. We have a variety, this is on the ThingLink blog, and I can click out there. We have a variety of teachers who've used ThingLink as an app smashing tool, because again, we just think it's a perfect tool. And so they're sharing those with us, and we're publishing those in a channel. And then in December, we're going to be having a webinar where we're going to feature those images that were created for the App Smash Challenge. It's really a wonderful experience because there's so many great ways to smash apps, and we're learning from each other. I've learned so much from all of the presenters here tonight, and I hope everyone in the audience has picked up at least a few new tools or a few new ideas or things to try. So that's the idea here, we're trying to inspire. So if there are any questions about ThingLink at all, I was going to demonstrate real quickly how to make a link. So I just click on this edit button, and I go ahead and I get this screen. And once I have the screen, it's pretty big now. I'm going to make it a little smaller. I click, and then I choose my icon. And again, you're going to see custom icons that I've made on top. And you're going to see some ThingLink premium icons down below. And then you'll see some basic icons that everyone can use. So here are some of the premium ones. I'm going to use this magnifying glass just to paste a link into a slide share about ThingLink Premium, just to make it useful. And here now you can see a live embedded slide share. So just like Tack, ThingLink is really easy, and the two tools together are perfect tools to try if you've never smashed any apps before, especially, or if you're good at it. So are there any questions? I'm going to scroll through the box.
There aren't any questions. One feature I do love with Premium that's come in handy for me, we can see it on your screen, is down at the bottom, replace image.
Yes.
That's come in numerous times. I've used that one.
Yeah, I use it almost every time now. I started using ThingLink. I was a very early user. When I first started, there weren't any icons at all. There were just black circles. I never even thought about icons. And I tagged this really image with a lot of different tags. And as I've had to recreate it over the years, I started having to recreate it from scratch and adding all the tags in. But now with replace image, I can completely change this, boom, and all of my tags stay. So it saves me a lot of time and energy. If I find a mistake on my image, or I don't like it, or I want to add a new resource, boom, I just replace the image. That's a great feature as well. That's probably my favorite feature.
I'm not seeing any questions right now.
Great. Well, it's probably a good time to end the webinar. Again, I'd like to thank all of our presenters for sharing their ThingLinks with us tonight. And like I said, they're teched ThingLinks with us tonight. Bobby and Patricia, Nancy, and Andrea. And thank you, Dan, for hosting. And thanks to the participants who are in the audience. If you have any questions, you can email me, susan@thinglink.com, and we hope you'll join our App Smash events. And if you need to see this slideshow one more time, here is the link. So thank you so much, everyone, and I hope you were inspired. Have a great evening.
Thank you.